Hi Libra, welcome to my channel. This is going to be your love reading for August 13th through the 27th. I know the dates are weird, I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. I've been a little bit behind, but you guys have been so wonderful and patient, so thank you. I've got a new deck here, so I'm going to go through this spread with you, and then we'll go ahead and clarify. Please like and share and subscribe and all of that. Thank you so much for all the comments. Thank you for the personal read requests. If you want a personal reading from me, in the description box below, I'll leave the information to be able to get one. And then we'll just go ahead. If this reading doesn't resonate with you, please be sure and check your moon and rising sign, and then also your Venus sign and the other person's Mars sign, and that may give you kind of more of a rounded picture. And I should have the rest of those up pretty soon. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. The first card that I have for you is your energy. It's the Knight of Swords, and I feel like this is somebody either moving very swiftly toward or swiftly away from something. I feel like it's almost like there could have been an argument or something where maybe you unleashed a little bit. It could be something along those lines. You could be dealing with another air sign too. But I feel like this is like a charging energy, like somebody's coming at somebody. And then in the next position, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is somebody turning their back on something that they've emotionally invested in. It's because it no longer serves them. So it's like either maybe you're recognizing that something is no longer serving you, or a certain way of doing things is no longer serving you, or the other party could be. And it's not an easy turning their back on this. I mean, it's not like they just don't care anymore. They've invested. They're leaving a lot of cups behind, so I feel like it's not easy. So there may be some emotions going on. That's why I kind of feel like there's this Knight of Swords coming at you energy. It's almost like it's pushing to this point of turning your back maybe emotionally on a situation because it's not serving you or something needs to change. And then the next card that I have for you is the King of Wands. So you may be dealing with a fire sign, could be a water sign. I actually don't have any earth here, but I do have water, air, and fire here. This King of Wands energy is definitely somebody who is very charismatic and like a not smooth talker in like a negative way really, but somebody who's highly persuasive, able to get people to listen to them. And this is also somebody who is in control of a situation. But in this king form, he's kind of at his best. So if you're dealing with a fire sign, it could be somebody, or you. This could definitely be your energy too, because you probably have fire in your chart with air in there too. It's likely. So this could be your energy of just kind of taking control, or maybe rising above this with whatever this Eight of Cups is. If it's you turning your back on a situation, or the other person, you're still coming out in control here. And then the next card that I have for you is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups, it would represent to me love messages coming in, or some, maybe an apology, maybe some kind of conversation about this Eight of Cups up here. But I feel like there's a lot of emotion flying around, because the next card that I have for you is the Queen of Cups. So you've got the Knight of Cups bringing these messages of emotion, and the Queen of Cups is basically backing those up. So there's a lot of emotion going on. And it could be that the other party is emotional because somebody is embodying this King of Wands energy and just kind of rising above the whole thing and remaining like very balanced, or looking almost like they don't care. And that could be what this combination of these cups are here, because one is a fast moving energy coming in and the other one are very deep feelings. And then the last card that we have is the Ten of Swords. So this could be you, this could be the other person. The Ten of Swords yes, it's a heartbreak and feeling like stabbed in the back, but it's also the completion Like, I feel like maybe some of you are in a cycle with somebody where there is kind of this dynamic of, it's almost like fighting and then a power struggle, and then somebody breaks down emotionally, and then there's heartbreak, and then it starts all over again. So for some of you, it could be dealing with a cycle here, but also this Ten of Swords can be the ending of, it's an ending and a new beginning too. So this could be you or the other person. We'll try and clarify and see what comes up with, but it looks like this, it's almost like this emotional outpouring here leads to this kind of heartache. And it could be that you're just finished with something. Let's see, let's clarify. Please clarify this Knight of Swords for Libra for August 13th through the 27th, 2017. What is this Knight of Swords about? Eight of Wands. So yeah, there are some messages going back and forth. I feel like there's like harsh communication. It's harsh, but it's quick and it's passionate. It's almost like angry. Please clarify this Eight of Cups for the sign of Libra for August 13th through the 27th, 2017. Yeah, the Two of Cups. So yeah, it is somebody's turning their back. I feel like with this Eight of Cups, somebody's turning their back on a bond that they know is very, very strong, but it's not serving them right now. Like you could feel like this is a soulmate type bond, but it's not serving somebody right now, and that person is mustering their strength, I feel like, to turn their back on it because something's not going right. And you could be dealing with a water sign. Please clarify this King of Wands here for Libra for August 13th through the 27th, 2017. What is this King of Wands about? Please clarify this King of Wands for Libra for love, August 13th through the 27th, 2017. What is this King of Wands about here? Okay, so on top of the King of Wands, we have the Page of Pentacles. So again, I think it's somebody who is taking a very controlled approach and appearing very solid, appearing like they're a solid person. Or somebody is looking at this scenario in the long term too. It could be that somebody's looking at this scenario in the long term and recognizing that even though they might be turning their back on the situation right now, it is in hopes of a change perhaps. I feel like somebody is very balanced though with these Pentacles, and there could be an Earth sign as well. With the Page of Pentacles on top of the King of Wands, or there could be a child involved. For some of you, there could be maybe arguments going on about children. But with this Page of Pentacles energy on top of this King of Wands, I definitely feel like somebody is in control of the situation or has the upper hand, it feels like, in the situation. Please clarify this Knight of Cups here for Libra for love for August 13th through the 27th, 2017. Why is this Knight of Cups here for the sign of Libra for love? No. Why is this Knight of Cups here for the sign of Libra for love? What is this Knight of Cups about? The Magician. So I do feel like with this Magician on top of the Knight of Cups, I do feel like it's an energy where somebody is recognizing that perhaps for the greater good, they need to turn their back on something. Something to do with the dynamic, perhaps not the relationship itself. But I feel like for some of you, it will be somebody turning their back on the relationship, because this Two of Cups is telling me that it's not easy. They feel the same pain, or vice versa. It's not an easy turning their back, but it's for the greater good, I feel like. Because this fire energy behind the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles is very determined on a goal. Like, they've set a long-term goal, and even though they're starting out at this immature stage, it's that fire, the king behind it, is going to push it forward. So I feel like it's somebody who has a very set goal with what they're doing. And this Magician on top of the Knight of Cups here, and the Magician could be your energy too with the air. I feel like the Magician is able to manifest what he wants out of this situation. And it could be that this Ten of Swords has to do with the fact that it's not time yet. Or something hasn't... It's like the Magician is waiting for the perfect time to make things work, I feel like. Please clarify this Queen of Cups here for Libra for August 13th through the 27th, 2017. What is this Queen of Cups here for? Why is this Queen of Cups here for Libra? August 13th to the 27th, 2017. Why is this Queen of Cups here? Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles on top of the Queen of Cups. So again, I feel like it's an energy that's holding, like it's taking things slow. It's slowing everything down for a reason. And perhaps to the other person, that feels like this person is turning their back on them. But I feel like this is somebody who's slowing things down for a reason. Perhaps because there's so much emotion, there's a recognition that they need to bring some grounding energy maybe to the relationship to try and stabilize it. Perhaps things have been a little unstable. Please clarify this Ten of Swords for Libra for August 13 through the 27th, 2017. Why is this Ten of Swords here? Please clarify this Ten of Swords. Please clarify this Ten of Swords. It's almost as if this Knight of Pentacles on top of this Queen of Cups is this page that's up here too. It's just maturing. You know, there's the energy behind it or the action behind it from the King. And then this Queen of Cups would represent some really deep emotions. But the Knight of Pentacles has a very specific goal. Again, in mind, he's got a long-term goal. He's different than the other Knights. He's slower moving, but it's steadier. It's straight. So I feel like that this emotion is behind this energy to back it up, to push it forward for a long-term picture. And I think that's what this Magician is about here. Please clarify this Ten of Swords for the sign of Libra for August 13 to the 27th, 2017. Please clarify this Ten of Swords here for the sign of Libra for August 13 to the 27th, 2017. Why is this Ten of Swords? There we go. The World. Yeah, so I feel like somebody recognizes that something needs to change. Something needs to come to a completion. There is some dynamic in the relationship, or maybe there's an imbalance, but I feel like somebody recognizes with this Eight of Cups that they need to change things. It needs to change. And because it needs to change, I feel like that person kind of has the upper hand because they've just made the decision things need to change. So I don't know if that's you or the other person, but I do feel like, and you could be dealing with an earth sign for sure, or another air sign, and we've got fire here too, so, or water. But I feel like there's a recognition at this point when somebody turns their back on even though it's very, very difficult for them to turn their back, they do turn their back on something that's not emotionally serving them. And I feel like it's not emotionally serving either of you the way things are. And somebody recognizes that and takes control of that situation. And this Magician down here on top of this Knight of Cups, it has a specific, there is a specific reason. With this Page of Pentacles, it has a specific goal in mind, and it has the action of the King of Wands behind it. So that gives it its go-ahead. Then you've got the Magician on top of this Knight of Cups. So that's somebody who can manifest this love that they want to be able to manifest, but I feel like they recognize that it has to be slow moving. This Knight of Pentacles on top of the Queen of Cups shows a slow moving, steady, very deep type of energy, where I feel like that's what this Magician is bringing in, because something needs to end. There needs to be an end to some kind of cycle before that can happen. And I feel like one party recognizes that and sees that things need to be slower and steadier in order to get something to complete. So for a lot of you, you may be dealing with a cycle or a dynamic that's unhealthy, perhaps, or there's something about it that's not making you as happy as you or the other person could possibly be, perhaps. And this Magician is the energy behind it to manifest what you really want. And I feel like for a lot of you too, this argument up here, or this fast-moving communication, maybe harsh communication, or whatever it is that's going back and forth up there, could be part of whatever this cycle that needs to end. Maybe you're fighting about the same things over and over again, or there's huge misunderstandings. But I feel like there is a cycle that needs to come to a completion, and it could be that it needs to come to a completion with the other person and not necessarily you. I just feel like there's some kind of dynamic there where it's creating an imbalance that has to be put to an end in order to ensure the stability between the parties here. So let me know if that resonates. I know that I mean, it did take an interesting turn, but I do feel like that's what it's saying, is there is a really strong bond here. And there is this relationship that grows very steady in emotion and passion and steady day-to-day, practical energy. And with the Magician here, I really feel like it's saying that, yeah, it can happen, but something needs to stop first. Something needs to come to a close first. And it's not going to be easy, because that Ten of Swords right under that saying it's got to come to a close, but it's not necessarily going to be easy. It's not going to feel that great. I feel like for some of you, it's something you already know needs to kind of change. So let me know, and I will talk to you soon.